Okay, guys, again, as promised, I wanted to go ahead and get started. The reason I can't delay any longer is because Trevor, our guest, may have other things to do, and I know some of you guys have things to do as well. So I don't want to hold you up, and I'm a stickler for time. And you guys, most of you who follow me, or most of the people on here are leaders already, right? You guys are already doing big things, and you're making big moves. So time is more valuable than money. I always teach that. Um, and that's a principle that I live by. I value my time. I value Trevor's time, your time. You can make $1 million over and over again, right? But the older you get, you can't buy back that time. So without further ado, we're going to get started. I met this guy a little while ago, and I really like him. I like what he's doing. Obviously, I'm not the presenter tonight, and you guys know I don't really do a lot of promoting of other products and services unless I really believe in it. I believe in the integrity behind certain products and services that are legitimate, that are very productive, and are getting results. Because you could be in this business for years, and if you're not with the right conglomerate, the right group of people, if you're not around, if you're not surrounded by people who are actually making moves and they have authentic products that produce the results that you want, it's really, really hard to make it happen. I mean, you can go in circles, but I saw what he was doing, and he approached me and my wife, and I kind of watched him for a little while. Trevor, I think that might be you giving some feedback, and I see your picture. You don't have to show your picture because if you don't want to. Trevor, can you hear me very well?
I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me okay?
That's fine. Yes, sir. Yeah. And the only reason I don't have myself up here is because I kind of slowed down. You guys know I normally show my face, but this is one of those nights I'm just kind of relaxing, and I'm just letting you have that luxury to just relax, and you don't have to show because I'm going to navigate this presentation as you tell me what to do since it's on my end. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So I know I'm giving an elaborate introduction, but I want to make sure everyone knows who you are and what you're all about. This gentleman, he's been in the wholesaling business for the last 7 years, guys, and he's not some newbie. He's not some fly by night guy. He's not a quick get rich quick type of teacher. He's very thorough. He's very methodical, and I see what he does, and he's actually getting the results. That's the most important thing I can tell you. He's not just talking about it. He's actually doing it. He's out of Dallas. He's out of Dallas, Texas, and he's been wholesaling in real estate for about 7 years. He's flipped over several hundreds of properties. Okay, so he's not a novice. He knows what he's doing. He currently manages about 4 wholesaling Facebook groups that are totaling over 100,000 members, 30,000 personal followers across social media that he has himself, and he's personally trained and mentored a ton of people. That's the first thing he was going to talk about on the screen here that I'm going to bring up here. But I wanted to go ahead and say that for him. But long story short, I mean, he's really, really he's very seasoned. That's what I'm trying to get at. And he has a product and a service that's bar none one of the best I've ever seen. Now you're going to get results by virtue of you applying what if you decide to get this product by virtue of actually doing what he says and going out and making it happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to pop in your lap. But if you cannot make sales and get deals done with this system, then you're probably it's not going to happen for you, because the way he has it set up, he has something that's pretty, I don't want to say the word proprietary, but it's pretty unique because there's very few people that are doing it. In fact, he's probably one of the only ones that I see that's on Facebook that's doing what he's doing. And he's created a system that actually finds good leads that are not shopped all over the internet. They're really good off-market deals. I'll let him tell you more about that. But basically what I'm saying is the guy knows his stuff, and he's one of the best I've ever seen at it. Okay, in other words, I've seen a lot of people do some things. I've seen some good ones. I saw some really bad ones. But he's right in the middle where he has something that's really unique, and it's going to be high in demand. A lot of people don't really know about him just yet, but you want to kind of get in now. So you can be on the ground floor with it when it takes off and running. When it really hits what I call critical mass, when things begin to really transform in this industry, and you always want to get to the head of a curve instead of the back end of a wave of something that's going on. It's almost like Google, 20 years ago when they started. You can buy those stocks for, I think, pennies on the dollar. But Google went as high, a few years ago, up to $1,000 a share. But it was too late for the average person. And that's how you have to look at real estate opportunities when they come. Some of the best ones, almost like a paradigm shift. They come once in a lifetime. And I think that's what we have here. So Without further ado, I'm going to introduce him now. Trevor, I want you to take it away. Again, sir, take as much time as you needed. I just wanted to give you enough time because I know other people have things to do and yourself as well. But guys, this is Trevor Jung out of Dallas, Texas. Go ahead, Trevor.
Thanks, Jimmie, for the warm welcome. I sure appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Man, thanks again for having me here with your group to share a little bit more about what I do and the product that I'm currently offering that's really helping and benefiting a lot of folks.
Mm-hmm.
As Jimmie had kind of mentioned, to kind of give a little bit of my background, I have been wholesaling for about 7 years now. In addition to that, I work as a digital marketer. I have a digital marketing agency as well. Kind of unique that I run two full-time businesses and it's just me, right? You wonder when I really ever have time to sleep or anything like that. But I've really had a lot of success with both industries. I'll kind of share what's kind of going on here. So for the past 7 years, again, I've been working as a digital marketer and as a wholesaler. As a digital marketer, I was doing lead generation for literally every industry that you can think of. Doctors, lawyers, insurance agents, real estate agents, celebrities, Shark Tank contestants, the list goes on. I was feeding every other industry other than my own wholesaling business, okay? And the reason that was happening is because I was told by all the gurus that were out there that really that there was no way to generate leads online, through digital ads and so forth. And if there really was, then, the qualifications behind that lead would either not be there or would be substantially expensive to the point to where it wouldn't work, right? So that's the reason that up until a few years ago, I never used my one business to really help my other. I just kind of ran them both separately. Well, as a lot of folks probably know, there's more folks that, every single day getting into this business. And rightfully so, because shoot, there's a lot of money to be made. If you can go and wholesale a deal and assign a contract, make $10,000 without really having to put any money into it or anything like that, then man, that's a huge win, right? If you get one of those a month, coming from somebody that's never made 6 digits a year or something, that's going to be a huge driving factor, a huge incentive. And we're just talking about one deal, right? So, again, like I said, rightfully so for there to be more competition that's coming to market. Well, just like with anything, when there is more competition out there, sometimes that can mean less food to go around, right? Less deals. And so a few years ago, just like most folks that are out there, I was driving for dollars. I was mailers. I was bandit signs, probate lists, tax delinquent lists, all the normal stuff that you kind of see, and that works, no doubt. It all definitely works. It's just, a few years ago with more folks coming to the industry, it was working a little bit less for me in the sense that I was having to spend more time. And really, I didn't have the extra time to spend with having a full-time marketing agency as well. So I had to kind of figure out a way to be more efficient with my time, a way to really drum in qualified leads that could actually convert into deals without having to work more hours than there sometimes was in a day. So as I kind of said before, all these gurus really said that what I was thinking about doing as far as placing digital ads and digital footprints and building an online business for lead generation for this industry, they said it couldn't work. I'm a man, a little bit of pride sometimes, so I took that as a challenge a few years ago. And guess what? They were right. I spent a bunch of money and I fell on my face and I was like, well, man, how did I make every other industry work other than this, right? But I'm not a quitter either. I still felt like the challenge was there. I still felt like I could make it work. And what happened was about 6 months into it, I found that sweet spot, okay? And that sweet spot, and really, when I say the sweet spot, I found a way to, just as we had discussed, to generate qualified leads that were exclusive to me. And I'll tell you something right there. I kind of want to stop just a minute and kind of focus on that word. For the experienced wholesalers and investors that are on here, as well as, you know, even the newbies that are kind of still searching for that first deal, boy, just not having to compete against anybody else sure makes things nice. Not having to make that phone call that you might be the 20th or the 100th person to call them, you know, sure makes things, likes to be told they're not interested, or, you know, maybe have some choice words for you from time to time. You know, I've been told everything, but exclusive, having an exclusive way to target folks was very important, because again, I didn't have that competition that made the negotiation a lot easier, which made the deals a lot fatter for me, right? So what happened was, again, about 6 months into it, I found a sweet spot here in Dallas, Texas. And what I started doing is I was able to source leads for my own wholesale business for about $50, somewhere between $40 and $50. And I started closing 1 in every 4 to 5 leads that I was bringing in. Now, stop and think about that for a second. I was spending $200 or $250 to make $10,000. Now, man, that seems like something that would typically be impossible, right? But as you folks know, the average assignment probably is about $10,000. So the only thing that I really needed to do was find a way to really drum in some leads that would actually close and convert. And that's what I did, right? So I found a way for my own business to spend a couple $100 to get a lead that would eventually turn into an assignment that would turn to $10,000. So when I did find this sweet spot and this gold mine, as what was running through my mind at the time, my next step was, in honesty, not to tell a single soul on this planet, okay? You know, because why would I? I was like, man, I'm not only going to clean house here in Dallas, but gosh, I'm going to virtually wholesale the rest of the nation. The world is mine. I'm going to take it all in, and gosh, you know, I'm going to make a killing, right? But what happened is I found this sweet spot about a few years ago, and it really made my wholesale business skyrocket. Okay, in addition to my already skyrocketing advertising and marketing business. And what I found was, you know, a few years later, is that there was never going to be that extra time in the day for me to try to virtually wholesale the rest of the nation. It just wasn't going to happen. It wasn't possible, and the amount of time that I had in the day. So rather than sit on all of this information, what I decided to do about 2 months or so ago is package this all together. You know, everything that I've used in my own market here, I called it the wholesaler cheat code because it's a shortcut to qualified leads. And, you know, I started promoting it to different markets and so forth throughout the nation, right? And Jimmie, if you could kind of go up just a couple of slides to where I believe where some of the experience that some of these folks were getting with some of these leads. I think that that's really important. I think that we kind of covered some of this right here. You know,
Okay.
like a lot of folks, you know, I was getting tired of doing a lot of the things that was taking up more time, right?
Yeah.
We had discussed right here. I took away all of the inefficiencies.
Yeah.
There was no competition. You know, that folks were actually contacting me versus me having to find them. How huge is that? And people that were reaching out and saying, hey, look, I need to make a deal. And again, you know, like I said as well, that sure makes the negotiation process a lot easier. But if you'll just kind of scroll up just a bit there, what I want to show you is what some folks are already doing currently. keep in mind, this program's only been out for 2 months. And the folks that are using it are not 100% experienced wholesalers or investors or anything like that, that will kind of just go up just a tad bit there, where it's got the leads down just a little bit, Jimmie, I'm sorry.
Oh, my apologies. And guys, I apologize. When he sent me this format, it just didn't do very well with my system on my Mac. So that's why you see that Atlanta looks kind of weird and Detroit looks a little weird. But right here is where you want to get at right here. Is that right?
So
okay.
Here's the proof in the pudding. This is what's so important is, I think that any experienced wholesaler and investor can take the program that I put together and go out and crush it. But what about folks that have already educated themselves? They know how to, find the value of the house. They know how to factor in repairs. They know how to negotiate. But the only thing that they're really missing is that hot lead, that they need that will convert. Well, look at these two folks, okay? They were both brand new to the industry, never once closed a deal in their entire life. They did know what they were doing, okay? So I want to make that a prerequisite that they had educated themselves to the industry. But in just 2 weeks of using the wholesaler cheat code, the person in Atlanta there at the top, they got 10 leads for an average of $28 a lead. That's nearly half what I pay here in Dallas. So essentially they spent $280 and look what they did. They closed 2 deals making $20,000 in assignment fees. Not a bad little ROI there. Right?
Let me just, listen guys, hold on. Let me just come in here and interject here. Listen guys, I've been doing a lot of marketing. You guys know me. Before I did this, I was just an affiliate of other products and services. I spent a lot of money just trying to find good leads. And I'm telling you, I understand conversions. Okay. This is outlandish conversions. This is almost unheard of. So that's what really got me with what he's doing here. Okay. I just wanted to say that if anybody understands what we're doing here about how marketing works, you can sometimes, if I had to spend $1,000 or $2,000 to get, to make 20,000, which would be 1,000% return on my money, it's still good. But he's saying this person paid a fraction of that to get these kind of results. So that's what, let that sink in for a minute before you guys, start, thinking too much. Don't overthink this thing. This is so simple. It's simplistic and very easy to understand. That's what I'm trying to drive home, but it's a no-brainer really. So
absolutely.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, no doubt. And as you guys can probably see as well, a gentleman from Detroit, also brand new to the industry, got leads from me, also closed 2 deals, spent basically, again, a couple $100, made $17,000 right there. So what's going on right now is that folks are closing really on average 1 in 5 deals or 1 in 5 leads that they receive. And like Jimmie said, these conversions, as far as
yep.
I know and concerned, there's nobody in this nation that's able to produce leads at this cost from distressed sellers. And what I mean by that is folks that need to sell fast and that are willing to sell for $1 because they need to make a deal. Anybody can get a seller lead, I can get those for a couple $100. But I'm talking about somebody that you're actually it's going to wheel and deal with you, I should say. Wheel and deal is the wrong word. Somebody that you're going to be able to go in there and not have to wheel and deal and basically, pick that up for dirt cheap and turn around and either flip it if you're a wholesaler or man, if you're an investor, you just got a great deal. Think about that also from an investor standpoint. These are just folks that wholesaled. And if they continue to track what they already have within 2 weeks, they're going to be making 30 or 40 grand in their first month. Imagine if you're an investor and you're capitalizing on all of that there, gosh, I don't know what that would be for some folks, but man, that would be life-changing, I think for most, making anywhere between 40 and 80 grand a month.
Let me interject and say something here too.
Sure.
Some of you all, you've been following me a long time because I sent out an email blast to you guys. So that means you've been following me for at least a year, okay, because you're on that list or you see me on Facebook. But I taught a series a while back on guerrilla marketing. If you're a newbie and you don't, you have a shoestring budget, you can, if you know what you're doing, and go look up the definition of guerrilla marketing. It's low cost but high effective marketing, cost effective marketing, where you can make extremely high ROIs. And I talk about advertising in newspapers and things of that nature, which is more off market and it's not so saturated like Facebook and other places. But what this guy is doing is another level of guerrilla marketing. It's a great example of how to make. You can take $300 and turn it into 3,000 and then 5 and 10,000. Obviously here, this person paid $300 and made 20,000. I mean, that's fantastic. And you can literally on a shoestring budget make a 6-figure income. And then you take part of those funds, you take that 20,000 and you take 5 or 10,000. If you really want to scale this thing up and be a millionaire doing this, you can do that. The power just, if you're in a business and it's not scalable, you're pretty limited, you need to have more than one business. But this is very scalable. It can be fast and consistent. Stay away from businesses that don't allow you to do that. And that's exactly what this is. So I just wanted to interject that. Go ahead, sir. I appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely. And you're exactly right. This is 100% scalable. There's folks right now, there's not anybody right now that's not doing deals. And if they're not doing deals, it's like Jimmie said before, this is work required, just like anything. Now, all this is doing and is kind of shortcutting you in a way where you're not having to do these other things to be able to get to the point of having a phone call and having a conversation with an interested buyer. If you're eliminating a lot of what you might typically do to get to that point, gosh, like I said, that really makes a difference. And so now you have to spend more time really, doing what you do best, which is closing deals. And again, in front of folks that actually have an interest. I'm not talking about, folks that may or may not need to sell right away. The targeting is so precise with this that these folks need your help and they're reaching out to you to provide the information. Yes, it requires work. Yes, you're going to have to make a phone call. Yes, you're going to have to negotiate with them. Yes, you're going to have to go see their property. Or if you're virtually wholesaling, figure out a way to obviously do that virtually. All of the normal stuff that you would typically have. But again, this is going to place somebody at your fingertips that's ready to make a deal, and it's up to you to follow through with that and to close the deal. Are they all going to 100% close? Absolutely not. You are going to still have your tire kickers from occasion, or folks, that are really just trying to waste their time and so forth. That does happen on occasion. But man, if I can get 5 and 4 of them, there's nothing there, and that 5th one makes me $10,000. Gosh, what greater world to be in, right?
It's a no-brainer. Yep.
Take that and replicate that multiple times throughout the month. It's just like Jimmie said, you can absolutely do that. You can scale this. What you spend is what you're going to get. I spend about $50 a lead here in Dallas. That's the highest that I've seen, the highest market that I've seen so far. And right now we're nationwide. We've got users all over the nation. So just think, for some of you folks that are tuning in and watching, depending on where you're at in the nation, you might be getting twice as many leads for even what my own cost is, for what I'm able to do in Dallas. But what? Just like Jimmie said before, I don't care about spending $1,000 or $500 or $2,000 or something like that. If $10,000 is sitting for me on the other side, or 20.
Exactly. And let me say this, Trevor.
Sure.
I know this for a fact because I have other guys that I've used. Listen, there's a lot of good softwares out there, because I don't knock the ones that really work. But let me just tell you guys something. All right. I'm very familiar with Dallas. I'm familiar with the entire nation as far as certain areas, the top 4 or 5 areas that are hot when it comes to wholesaling, fix and flip, and all of that. Dallas is right at the top. Okay. And sometimes you can be in that city and not know where the best deals are because you don't have access to the software. Okay. Driving for dollars is okay. Like you said, it does work. But the problem is you have to be ahead of you got to be ahead of the system, because if there's 10 deals in North Dallas and you don't know how to access them, you got to drive, you don't have access to certain things. The person that does this can be in New York City and can get access to that property. And let me tell you, $50 for a lead to be able to turn that trend, to get that lead and have an opportunity to close it and make 5 or 10 grand, it's far easier. Okay, because now you're working smart, not hard. And that's what you have to think about. Dallas is super hot. I mean, there's so many deals that come out of that area. It's crazy. But you want to be ahead of the competition is where I'm getting at. And $50 a lead is really nothing when you look at what you're getting out of it. It really isn't. Okay, so that's good, Trevor. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely. And it's just like you said, to kind of piggyback there is,
yep.
I can do this from anywhere in the world. The leads are going to come to me, and I can source leads from anywhere in the world too, depending on if I want to virtually wholesale or not. But traditionally with wholesaling, a lot of these folks are fishing in the same pond, and when you're doing that, there's just less to go around. That's just the nature of the beast. Why not have a digital ad in front of them, somebody that's actually wanting to sell? They see your ad, they click on that for more information, they give you their information, and basically are saying, call me up and make a deal, I'm ready to sell. And again, I can't harp it enough, just eliminating everybody else and being able to focus one-on-one with the prospective seller. That's half the battle right there. Once you're one-on-one with them and that they want to sell and that you want to get a deal done with them, gosh, it's just a matter of semantics and a little bit of negotiation to get that done. So again, this is called the cheat code. The word cheat sounds a little bit bad, but in a sense, that's what we're kind of doing is we're cheating the system. Instead of going in door number 1 where everybody's kind of in there and looking around in the hallway, we're taking door number 2. We're by ourselves in there with a prospective seller, and everybody's at the table is ready to make a deal. All it takes is one deal a month to really change everything. To make this a worthwhile program and platform for you. And like I said, there's not anybody that's out there that's not doing one deal a month. So if you're doing 0 deals a month right now and you want to get to 1, this is for you. If you're doing 1 or 2 deals a month and you want to double that to get 3 or 4, this is for you. This is also for the person that might be listening that's just crushing it, and maybe they're doing multiple deals every single week. This is also still for you, because regardless of what situation or where you're at in your career path with wholesaling, this is going to work, and it's going to put you in front of prospective sellers that are ready to make a deal. And you won't have to deal with any inefficiencies, that might be offered with traditional techniques and so forth. You're able to focus on what you do best, and what you're really looking for is somebody that's out there to really make a deal. If you'll scroll down just a little bit there, Jimmie. Yeah, so what do you expect to get with the wholesaler cheat code? You're going to get more leads. I promise you. And you're not just going to get leads that some of these folks you might see out there that are selling lead lists and things like that, that everybody and their mother has access to. This is not that type of lead. This is an off-market lead that nobody else is going to know about, because they're seeing your ad, they're going to click on it. They're going to come to you. Like I said too, that should make it, in all honesty, if you're dealing with somebody that's one-on-one, that should lead to more deals. If you're doing more deals, you're making more money, and gosh, if you've got more money, life gets a little bit easier and better, But if you'll scroll down just a little bit more, the main thing I want to harp on too is that it's still work required, right? Just like with anything. These deals are not just going to fall in your lap, but that's sure getting you pretty close with this system. It's definitely going to put you in front of the people that are going to get you deals. And gosh, that's really all that I have to say. I know that this works, and I would love to have a chat with anybody that might be listening in on this, on how we can really either, kick off your career, if you're a newbie and kind of getting getting started with this, to really jumpstart your career and not be that wholesaler that's 6 months into it that may not have found their first deal yet. You're going to find your first deal month one. I can almost just guarantee it. I can't 100% guarantee everything, but I can just about guarantee it because I'm looking at the averages and the numbers. The main thing of it is that you have to put in the work on your side as well. But this is also going to be for, anybody that's wanting to also take their business to the next level, regardless of where you're at that career path. Like I said, if you're doing a couple deals a month, you're doing, a couple deals a week, whatever that you're doing, you can take and skyrocket, based on the program and what it entails. So I appreciate you guys having me on. You can find me at thewholesalercheatcode.com. You can also find me on Facebook. And also, if you want to find me on Facebook and connect with me, it's Facebook, and you can obviously just type in Trevor, Trevor. Last name is Young, but it's spelled Jung. It's a little bit strange, kind of German. But I would love to connect with anyone, answer any questions that anyone might have. I truly enjoy seeing folks win and being successful. And I truly believe that your success is my success. And man, if I can help you be more successful, I can be more successful there with you. And, again, Jimmie, I appreciate you having me.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Thanks a lot for coming. Hey, listen, just if you want, I'm going to open the lines up right now if you have a couple of minutes. And guys, thanks for staying to the end. At the very end, I always give a trivia question. Most of the people on here, some of you haven't really developed into being a strong leader. I always teach leadership because, you guys, as you build your real estate companies, you need to put a team around you, a conglomerate that's going to help you continue to succeed and you help them succeed. But what I always do at the end is I always give a trivia question and I give out a cash bonus. So I'm going to say a quote from someone that I listened to or I've read, and it's going to be good information. If you guys can tell me within 10 seconds, I'm going to give you a cash bonus, and I'll send it to you through Cash App tonight. Okay. I've been doing this a long time. I just think it's fair to give you guys something for taking your time to be on here. But I'm going to do something really quick because Trevor, excellent, quick presentation to the point. I'm going to open this up to the floor and see if they have anything they want to share or any questions they have, because a lot of times, people, what stops them is when their questions are not answered. And guys, the only bad questions are questions that are not answered. There's no stupid question. Okay. So if you have any noise playing in the background, please mute your phones if you're not going to speak, because I'm unmuting everyone right now. Okay. And he is available to talk for you guys to ask some questions. Hang on one second, man. There's something going on my screen here. There's a few of you already unmuted already, so you can ask a question to Trevor if you like. Okay. Any questions for Trevor? Hang on. There's two more people I have to unmute here if I can. Okay, I think I got it now. There we go. All right. Yep. Any questions for Trevor? Any questions about the product? I mean, how it really works, and anything, guys, because it might be a while before I get him again.
I have a question for everybody. Who's ready to do some more deals?
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure everybody is, regardless, again, where you're at in the process of this industry. Man, there's a lot of money floating around out there, and you're either on it or you're not. And I tell you what, this is a great opportunity for you guys to be a part of something that's newer, that's less expensive than it's going to be probably in the near future. Just out there. Something that's really, and I truly believe this, that's not just going to change your life, they're good, but it's going to change, everything, your family, your friends, everything. Because gosh, they say that money doesn't buy happiness, and I'm not here to argue that one way or the other. But man, life sure does get easier with money, and we're able to do things for folks that we may not, normally be able to do by having that extra money, that extra income there. Being able to afford to take my mom on trips. Bought her a car a year ago. Being able to provide to one of my sisters and her family that's a little bit less fortunate, being able to give them awesome Christmas, awesome birthdays, things like that. That's stuff that makes me happy, and so I'm able to do more things, not just for myself, but for the people that I care about, by having extra money. And this, guys, if it would be crazy to not jump on this, because this is going to be something it's going to get you more deals. It's going to put you in front of more prospective sellers, and it's going to make the process easier for you. So it's ultimately going to put you in a position where you can close more deals throughout the day because you're talking to the right people. Or maybe you don't want to close as many deals, and a couple of months is enough. Man, gosh, that creates, all this extra time to spend with your family and your friends and the things that really matter most. So, this program, wholesaling in general, is life changing, no doubt. And there's a lot of folks out there. There's no shortage of deals that are necessarily floating around out there, but there is a shortage of folks looking in the right places, I guess I should say. And so that's my job, is to get you to the right place, to lead you to the promised land where we can all win together. And I believe that I can definitely do that for you.
That's awesome. I appreciate you taking the time again. I like what you said. And Trevor, I kind of checked you out. I went to your page and I saw, I don't know how much the people that are on your page is your actual family, but it looks like you sound like it looks like you're a very open guy, very honest guy. And you enjoy having fun. Okay. And that's one of the things that when you build a successful business or you have extra, I always say, like he said, money answers things. That's a Bible principle. Money answers all things. I don't think it can necessarily make us happy, but it gives us options. And I think when you're able to help other people, that's what it's all about. When you can give and pour into someone else who's less fortunate, then that's how I think too. When I can look at someone and they put a smile on their face, and their life changes forever, and it touches me. And we have the same spirit when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm sure there's other people on here that you have a family member or you have someone that you love, and they're struggling right now. You may be struggling, but what I'm saying is you got to look above all that and say, I have opportunity. I have something in front of me that can change my entire destiny. If you're making $5,000 a month, this is an opportunity to make 10 or 15,000 on your. I don't know what you make in your job, but some people in this country, if you look at the statistics, there's some people they're not making $2,000 a month after taxes and back and forth to work and gas and and what the government takes at the end of the year. And then you have some people who sit from their laptop and they invest in this and they make 40, 50, 60, 100 grand a year. They change their lives, and by default, they change the lives of others as well. So this is an opportunity, guys. Okay, this is not some hole in the wall. Okay, I don't know when I'll be able to get this guy again. I don't normally do these kind of webinars that much anymore, either in endorsing other products, because you guys know I'm building my own system. But whenever I see something else that's good, I always inject it and give people the opportunity. Especially, I have a paid members only real estate group. I give them this opportunity as well. But a lot of them, they pass on it because they don't see the vision of what they can benefit from it. Okay. You probably heard the old saying, you can lead people to a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink the water. Okay. So again, it's entirely up to you. We're not just, we didn't just do this just to be wasting time here. Okay. A lot of you have been saying, I can't find good property. I can't find good deals. If everybody could find deals, then we wouldn't be in these Facebook groups fighting for, who's the buyer, who's the seller, and you got all these daisy chains. This is a way to get around all that. Okay, guys, and put money in your pocket. Right? That's the purpose of doing it. So with that being said, I'm pretty much done. If you have, does anybody else have any other questions before I give out? And thank you very much, Trevor. Again, it was awesome, man.
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely. And guys, just take action. You know, all the good things that we're talking about right now, that you can have in your life, that's one decision away. You know, these things in life won't fall on your lap. You've got to take action. But
That's right.
the resources there, the tool is there. If you take action on this, life's going to be different, you know.
That's right. That's right. Here's what I'm going to do for you guys who stayed late also. If you decide to join within 24 hours, you guys know I give away free vacations. I've given away about 5,000 so far. As long as you guys register, you know, when you do this, you register with our system. I'm going to give away a vacation, pardon me, for 2, okay? And there's certain cities that you can go that I have in that system, like Orlando, Florida. I have Bali, Indonesia. I have Cancun, Mexico, Phuket, Thailand, Vegas, a few other places, but it's about 15 different locations. Wow. But what comes with it, everything is not all inclusive. So before you guys get too excited, you know, it's not all inclusive, but basically you have to pay for your own airfare and you have to pay for the taxes. So let me give you a prime example. The biggest one that we've given away so far is Bali. We've probably given away about 5,000 total, but the most consistent one was about, I think it was Bali, Indonesia. But basically 4 days is actually going to be, I think it's $1,500 to stay in Bali for 4 or 5 days, 4 days, 3 nights or something like that. But when I give it to you, you only pay like, I think it's $85 for the taxes. That's all you're paying. And so you just got to get there. Yeah, you got to get there on your own and, you know, make the arrangements. But that's all you're going to pay. But I'll give you that. You know, if you guys decide to join within 24 hours with his program, you can contact me on Facebook and say, hey, Jimmie, I want in. And I will set up a personal one-on-one and put you in direct contact with Trevor. But you have to act within 24 hours, okay? Trevor, that's the least that I can do for a product and service like this, okay?
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, we try to build value. We're all about building value. We do like to give, but we want to make sure that we're giving a hand up, not a handout. We want our people to be prosperous and successful, you know, with the system, all right? And then when you participate, my job is to make sure I keep you guys happy along, you know, try to motivate you guys to act, all right? Here is a trivia question, right? Whoever answers it gets a cash gift tonight. The question is, who said, yeah, someone saying something? Okay, all right. Here's the question. Who said success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal? Let me say that again. This person said success is the progression of a worthy ideal. In other words, success is not a destination. It's a journey. It's a journey. It's a progression of going towards your goals and not quitting. Who said that? Can anybody tell me? I'm going to give you all a second chance. Let me give you another one here. Who said, I didn't fail. I just found 1,500 ways that my program did not work. So basically this guy invented something. It took him 1,500 times plus times of failing before he succeeded. And that was his definition. He never said he failed. He said he found over 1,500 ways that did not work, but one way that did. Who can tell me who said that?
Napoleon.
Come on, guys, step up. Leaders or readers? Who knows it?
No.
Okay, let's do one more here.
Can I take a stab at that one just for fun?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was that Thomas Edison?
It was Thomas Edison, absolutely. Inventor of the light bulb.
Man, that's one of my favorite quotes.
Really? Yep, that was him.
Yeah, so I kind of figured in and assumed that's who that was there. Awesome.
Oh, you're on. Okay.
Let's try another one here.
Yeah, you're really good. See, but you're always reading. And let me tell you guys, every one of you are on here, I take it as you're trying to aspire to be a leader. That's what it's going to take to dominate in real estate. You don't want to be one of these back end guys. If you really want to make money with this, you need to be reading. Okay. And I'm glad that you knew that, Trevor. All right. Here's another one. One of my favorites here. Help other people succeed and get what they want, and you will definitely get what you want. Basically, what he's saying is by default, the more people you help, that success is going to find you back. It's like the law of sowing and reaping. Okay.
Another favorite of mine.
Who is he? Who is it? Any answers before Trevor hits it? All right. Go ahead, Trevor. Who was that?
I think that was Churchill.
Well, Winston Churchill. No, I was going to do, I was going to do Churchill next.
Okay. Who was that, by the way? That's another really good one. I forgot.
I'm gonna give them because I've been talking a lot about it, so I'm gonna give them another minute because I'm very disappointed, man. I tell you, oh gosh, that my team. Come on, y'all. But if they don't get it in 60 seconds, I'm gonna have to say, guys, you guys didn't win today, but y'all got to go read,
Hey, again, I'll tell you what. Back to that Edison quote. That it's 1,500 ways to not do it.
Right.
You know what? This is the same thing with this wholesaler cheat code. Listen,
Absolutely.
There's a lot of ways out there that are time consuming or that don't necessarily work as great as others. Gosh, you can just forget about all that and go right to the meat and potatoes of where you want to be with this. Folks that are actually leads that are ready to make a deal. Mark Cuban said something that was similar to what Thomas Edison said is, look, you can be wrong 1,000 times. All you got to be once.
Once. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. Yeah.
I read that in Mark's book, How to Win at the Sport of Business. That's another really good, easy read.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't think I read that. I haven't read that. Okay.
Yeah. This is your chance to be right the first time, and not have to go through some of the pain and agony that some of us go through.
Yeah.
Of trying to find leads, because that's what it boils down to is, how can I get a lead? That's the number one thing. And then second of all, how can I turn that lead into a deal?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Wow.
This gets rid of half the work.
And again, guys, there's only 24 hours in a day. I like what you're saying because you got to get out of the old mindset that, see, some of the other guys who made a lot of money in the 70s, 80s, and 90s in real estate, they're still making money. They laid a foundation. But the thing is, it's a new system now because of social media and certain. The internet has revolutionized everything. So they were used to getting on a plane, going to California or going to Vegas and looking at a casino. But now you have guys that have direct access. In my conglomerate, I have guys, that's all they do, wholesale. They go out and they get direct access to a seller on $1 billion, casino. Okay. And the wholesaler goes out and finds a buyer. This is all online. He goes out and finds a buyer. You connect buyer and seller together, buyer's rep, seller's rep, wholesaler in the middle. They divide 3 points. Do you know, guys, you can make 3% of $1 billion on a casino that's in Vegas? I have a guy right now. This guy's awesome. I'm not going to say his name, but he's in my group right now. He's been doing it for about 3 years. He's getting close on his first $1 billion wholesale deal. You do the math. Listen, you do the math on 3 points on $1 billion. I rest my case.
Jeez.
But what I'm saying to you is he didn't have to go out there. He used, influence. He lives over here on the East Coast, but he has influence. He knows people there, and through the internet and the power of, social media. You got to use those things to your advantage. Okay. So he's going to make, there's 30 million. That's let's just be honest. That's what it is. 30 million divided amongst 3 people. Buyer's rep, seller's rep. He put the work in. He's the guy in the middle. You know how this works. The seller must sign, the buyer by default must sign the NDA non-circumvent / fee agreement, agreeing to pay 3 points on the back end. Sometimes the seller will come in and say, well, I'll pay 1.5 points, and the other guy pays 1.5. Either way, at closing, there's a check for 30 million that's divided between 3 people. You put that money in an LLC, or however you do it. You put the money in the trust, or however you want to do it. But there's a check written, and this guy has just been working at it. He just kept working at it. You got to work at it, okay? But he did it from his laptop. But not to get off course here, my point is, when you understand those things are shifting, that you got to shift with it. So he's making more money from his laptop than these guys are going around doing. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to get at, and that's what Trevor has here. All right. With that being said, you know what, Trevor? I'm going to give him one last chance here because I always give this quote. This is a very easy one, guys. And this is in a book that I tell y'all to read once a year. If you want to be a millionaire in this business, you need to read this book once a year. In anything you're doing. Here's the quote: "Whatever the mind can believe and conceive, it can achieve." Whatever the mind can believe and conceive, in other words, you got to birth it in your mind, it can achieve. So, yes. Who said that?
Napoleon Hill. I can't get in.
Pardon me?
Napoleon Hill.
Oh, Napoleon Hill. That's right. That's right. Who said
Nice.
that? Who said that?
Tom Brady here.
Oh, okay. Hey there, Miss Tom Brady. This is one of my favorite students, one of my all-time students. She's been with me since I started. Her name is Mary Travers Barber. She's out of Foxborough, Massachusetts, guys. She's a Tom Brady fan. I'm Bill Belichick. She's the player, and I'm the coach. And she's navigating. She's another one that's trying to do big multifamily deals up there, and her region. And let me tell you, she has a story. Okay, single mother, big family, very resilient, and just refused to quit. But Mary, you may be proud tonight. So I'm going to send you some cash through Cash App. You need to send me your Cash App information, okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
You rock. Thanks for being on, okay?
Anytime. Love it.
Okay, let's make it. Man, I made my night. Now I'm going to go shout here because people are like listening and stay to the end. So anybody else who's interested, please get back to me on Facebook, okay, within 24 hours. And we will give you the vacation once you sign up with Trevor, okay, because we need to get this thing moving. And then the big thing is I want to give a testimony. You guys, you get the software and a month later, hey, Jimmie, I got my first wholesale deal. I made 10 grand. So you guys can come out of debt. You can come out of poverty. You can join I have $1 million funding program. It's $10,000 to get in that program. But I have a private banker. He takes he knows how to fix your credit, business, personal credit within 6 months. Doesn't matter who you are. And he can help you get up to $1 million or $2 million in finance and funding. So you can go out and purchase your own properties. You put your own down payment. You ain't got to go have a third leg, okay? But you got to take action today. That's what you have to do, all right? With that being said, I always say, Trevor, thanks for being on, but I'll see all of you at the top. Blessings. Take care.
Jimmie. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.